Hello and welcome to the show. My Dux Britanniarum campaign continues. It's now in its 4th year and is AD 620, May. While the Saxons are still recovering from their Pyrrhic victory last time around, the Picts are taking advantage of the Scotty and have launched a raid against Dal Riata. If you haven't already done so, grateful for a sub, bottom right hand corner of the screen, I hope. Other than that, let's get on with the show. So the two leaders of the warbands having fisticuffs tonight are on the left Lord Ronal MacDonald the Cruel, leader of the Scotty, and on the right Lord Finbar, son of Fubar the Blessed, leader of the Picts. So here's the Scotty warband. Lord Ronal MacDonald at the front with his champion Hamish and noble Big MacDougall. Behind them 4 groups of raiders, 2 of which are 8 strong. On the right we have the skirmishers with the noble Egg McMuffin. At the back, skirmish cavalry, noble raider cavalry, and on the left the missiles, slingers. And the Pictish warband, Lord Finbar at the front. On the right is the noble Angus, son of Fungus, the champion Dungal. Behind them 4 groups of raiders, 1 of which is 8 strong. 1 group of skirmishers, 1 group of crossbows, missiles, and 1 group of raider cavalry. So I think it's fair to say that the Picts are going to be out-muscled on this one, so they need to be a bit canny. So here's the ground for tonight, which I think is going to be a real challenge. Lots of wet land, bogs and river to get over and cross. All parts of the river where it is widest will be a medium obstacle, where it is narrow will be a minor obstacle. All boggy areas are medium obstacles and all rough ground are minor obstacles. In this scenario, the Picts have already carried out a raid and are trying to get back to their land with some booty. They will be entering the table from the right hand side. The Scotty will be intercepting or trying to intercept from the bottom of the table just to the left and right of the small stream. Another group of Scotty will be chasing the Picts from the right hand side of the table. So this is Finbar's view as he looks down the valley. River on his left, river on his right. He's aiming to cross at the junction there and get off the table to the far side, and the Scotty will be coming in from his left and behind. This is Lord Ronal's perspective. The main part of his warband will be coming on here. They can go either side of this stream river. The Picts will be coming on from his right across the other river, and he's got to stop them getting off the left hand side of the table. Okay, the cards as follows: Bounding Move, Rage, A True Aim, Shield Wall Brace and Desperare for the Picts, and the Scotty have Darting Blow, Aggressive Charge, Rally, Bounding Move and Disengage. Both warbands have a force morale of 6. The Picts will have 1 turn of movement before the Scotty are allowed to get on the board, but the chasing Scotty will turn up on turn 3. The Picts have to get off the left hand edge of the table with their booty, which is in a single wagon. Let the battle commence. Right, so the Scotty Lord is up first of all, and I guess he's just got a decision whether he comes on here or to the left hand side and sends a blocking formation. I think he's going to come this side. So first group will go, oh dear, 4. Oh, you're going to bother rolling the other group, but they'll go straight behind. From the perspective of the Picts, leader 1, Angus, is up first. So he's got these 2 groups here, so he'll be motoring along there. They go 8. And the second group, 9. I'll just tuck in behind. I think they'll probably just push out to the left there, actually. Pictish cavalry up next. They will go 18. missiles. I think they'll come up and give some flank protection. 8 less 1 hit per dice, so actually they'll only go 5. This marshland is going to be difficult for everybody. Finbar. Okay, front group. Go 10. And rear group 8. I think Scotty Leader 1 is going to come around here and aim for the what the Scotty can't afford to do is let the Picts get away. So they're going to try and get in a blocking formation. They go 12. And the second group also 12. And the final card is the Pictish skirmishers. They probably ought to be on the left hand side actually. So I think I'm going to send them around here. They go 8. And I'll just start to enter the bog there. Okay, next round, and Pictish cavalry are up first. It's a tricky one because they're not actually that good at times, so I think I'm probably just going to get them to push away and see how the opportunity arises at the time. 15-21. So they picked their way, pardoning the pun, through the river and lost a few dice, a few pips per dice there. But I want them to actually get in the back of potentially the Scotty position. Skirmishers, they will be pushing across the marshland there. They will go 9. Okay, Finbar and his gang. Sorry, Finbar's at the back. Well, there we go. It's a classic. He can't really go too far. He needs to be careful of the chasing Scotty. That they're not going to catch up with him and cause a disaster. So I think he's just stuck there kind of at the moment, unfortunately. Leader 1 is up now, of course. Well, typically, but they'll pile forward. Scotty Leader 1, Big MacDougall. He's got to try and get around here to the junction blocking force. And he goes 13, but he'll lose 6 getting across there. Well, yeah, goes up here. And the second group, oof, bit slow. Scotty Lord, 7. And the Pictish missiles, well actually they are in or within 12 inches, so they will play a true aim, +1 to hit. That's 4, 5, 6 hit, +3, so it's 3, 4, 5, 6, well 3 6s anyway. Okay, and it's 4, 5 shock, 6 kill, 2 shock. So that'll slow them down a bit. Okay, next round, and Pictish missiles are up straight away, so they're just going to crack on. No true aim this time, so it's 4, 5, 6 to hit. That's 2 hits. 4, 5 shock, 6 kill. Wow, 2 kill. Now, is one of those on Ronal? It's not. But that is not a good start for the Scotty. Okay, Scotty Leader 1. Now, well, he needs to get here. So he's going to lose 2 pips per dice for movement. So he goes 2. And this is the problem of the marsh area, and these guys I suppose are going to have to come up to the right hand side. They go to 6. Okay, Scotty Lord. Well, I guess he's going to take the 2 shock off. Or is he? He'll take 1 shock off, because he's got to move 2 groups. He'll get the first group up here to the river, and they can just about get through the bog there, which they do. And the second group, I think, will try and get up beside them, but they will lose 2 pips. 1, 3, 5. Well, they'll go up to the edge. They get struggling through the bog there. Right, I did forget to move the wagon at the end of last turn, so I'm going to move that one. It went 5. And the reason I say that is because we've got this rear guard action here against the following up light troops and cavalry from the Scotty, so the Picts need to be pretty careful about that. The next card up is Angus, son of Fungus. And I think he's going to come up to the river with 1 group and stay that side of it, which he does. And he may well just get the other group to join up here or move over to them anyway. So they're kind of gone backwards. They're not a formation, but it gives a little bit of security together with numbers. Okay, the Pictish Lord is up now. He's going to tell this lot to turn around. And this is the direction of where the chasing group's going to come from. Is he going to use these as a sacrifice? Difficult, because they can't act on their own. This is the problem of the raiders. They haven't got enough nobles to go around to control the troops. It's difficult. So I think what he's going to do is tell this lot to go over to Angus. And he's going to stay with this gang here. Pictish cavalry. Now I think what I want them to do is come over here and just lurk, ready to pounce if the opportunity arises, and they easily get over there. And they're looking at the Scotty to their slight front and left. Pictish skirmishers here will move within 6 inches, which they do. And they will fire at this group, hitting on a 4, 5, 6. 2 hits. And that is 2 points of shot. So again, that will hopefully slow them down. And that is the end of the turn. Okay, it wasn't quite the end of the turn, because as per usual I forgot to move the wagon. That's moved up, only 5 inches there. First card up is the the Pictish cavalry. So they're in the far distance as you look now, but I am not going to move them just yet. Okay, Scotty leader 1. Well, they've just got to try and push across here and get this blocking formation over the river. So the first group here, it's -2 on all, so they'll go 3. And the left-hand group basically don't move. They're in the bog, they're stuck. It is Pictish leader 1, Angus, here. So I think for 1, they'll join up. And I think they're going to charge in. Got no cards of use, but if they go in as a formation, they outnumber the Scotty. And they lose 2 pips per dice. So that's 1. That's enough. They go 5. So they charge in. Work out some dice. The Picts will have 12, 14. And the Scotty will have 6 plus 3 and 2 is 11. Everybody's sitting on a 4, 5, 6. We'll do the Picts first. Wow, that's a fantastic hit. Absolute monster of a hit there. and in reply the Scotty, also very good. Wow, so that'll be 4 and 4 on each group. So the hit on the Scotty, not so good. That's cocky, and that's a kill. So it's 5 shock and 1 kill. Is the kill on Ronal? It's not. Okay, left hand picked group is 2 shock. And right hand picked group is 2 kill, 2 shock. Is it on Angus? No. So that's net 1 to the Scotty. And 1 is withdraw if excess shock. Well, they've got 6 with 2 and 4 with 2. No, but you always, if you're a raider, withdraw with 1 excess shock, and the Scotty have 1 excess shock, so they go back 1. Now I'm playing this that if you didn't win the combat, which the Picts didn't, and there's a break like this, then the combat ceases, i.e. the Picts don't follow up. Right, the Scotty missiles are on. Well, they will just come on here and immediately fire at the group of Picts raiders there, hitting on a 4, 5, 6, 2 hits, 4, 5 shock, 6 kill, 2 kill. Can you believe it? Right, 2 kill is one of those on Finbar. It's not, but that is not good for a blocking formation. Rear guard. Scotty Lord. Well, he's in a bit of bother here. He does have a rally card, which I think I'm going to play. Only 2 points. Okay, so that's, I don't think you can afford to get into combat at the moment. Although, so he hasn't used any command initiatives just yet. Oh, I think he might. He's going to draw a card, so that's 1. And he's picked up strong arm, so I think I'm going to play strong arm because they're pretty close. So they're going to lose 1 die 6 movement, but that's not a problem because they're not on any bog at the moment. They are going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dice. Any 5, 6 hit is shock, so that's 2 points of shock on this group here. Well, it probably ought to be 1 on each, to be honest. So they both got 3. They're charging. I'm not bothered about rolling for that one. And then we start the combat again. So it's 6, 10, that's 2 is 8, 9, 10. And the Scotty will have 5 less 2 is 3, plus 5 is 8. I'll do the Scotty first. 4 hits, 2 on each. Five hits coming back. Alright, so left hand group, 2 shock. Up to 5. Nothing. And that's a heavy hit back. That's 3 points of shock. So 1, 2. Three. And the 2 kills is one of the kills on Lord Edwin. It's not. He wanted a wound there. He hasn't got it. So that's 2 killed. 2 killed is withdraw the number of shock you have. Well, actually, regardless of, well, they go 7. This is not good for the Scotty. They go 7. and there's 3 with 7. They've lost that amphora. And they're off the table. Gone. So bad things happen. 3. And that's 2 points off force morale, which means the Scotty are down to 4 already. Now, Lord Ronal and Hamish are off the table. They can come back on when they're activated on a 5 or 6, but that is not good for him at the moment. And it's left the door open for the Scotty, for the Picts. Bit of a disaster there. Okay, Pictish skirmishers will fire at this group. 4, 5, 6. 2 hits. And it's 4, 5, 6 shock. 1 shot. Okay, Scotty cavalry are up now. So I think what I'm going to do is send the Noble Raider cavalry on a looping arc around the back. And they'll be ready to pounce in the rear of the Picts. So they get 8 plus 6, 14. And the skirmish cavalry will just come up to within range of the raiders here, Pictish raiders, and have a little go at them. Hitting on a 4, 5, 6. 2 hits. And shocking on a 4, 5, 6. 1 shock. Pictish missiles will continue to fire at the raiders. Again, 4, 5, 6 to hit. 2 hits. And just check that one. Yeah, 1 shock. So they're up to 4. Scotty skirmishers, one group will come over here, which they do. And they will fire at those raiders. So they're really getting at them now. 1 hit. No effect. Nothing which should have gone with him. And I guess the other group of skirmishers will probably come into the bog here, which they easily do. And they will fire 4, 5, 6. 2 hits. And 2 shock. Right, Finbar is activated. He's drawn a card, which is Armour Bright, which is not overly useful at the moment. So that's 1. You don't really want to get in the bog. He's basically got skirmishers, skirmishers to the front all over, and Noble Raider cavalry to his rear. So he needs to be a bit careful about this one. So we'll take a point of shock off. And I think what he'll do is withdraw back. And let's move the wagon. They go 10. That's the end of the turn. So things are quite interesting though. Lord Ronal's off the table here. Needs to get back on to try and influence things. And the Picts are doing quite well at the moment here. But they're being chased at the rear by all the light troops, harassing troops, and the Noble Raider cavalry. And to their front, they've obviously got the Scotty ready to block them by the river there. They have got some Raider cavalry to the front, the Picts that is, ready to assist if necessary. Not quite sure what they're going to be doing now. So it's an interesting game in the balance at the moment. Right, the Scotty skirmishers are up. So the ones with Egg McMuffin will move forward and I think try and get within 6 inches of these guys. There goes 7. They're just in range, so it's a 4, 5, 6 to hit, 1 hit. Perfect. The other group of skirmishers will fire at the crossbows. Two hits. One shock. Scotty Lord, on a 5/6 he can come back on. He can't yet. Scotty Cavalry, okay, these cavalry will come within 6 inches, which they easily do because they've got +4 anyway. And this is skirmish cavalry, and they will fire at these guys. 4, 5, 6 to hit. 3 hits, and it's 4, 5, 6 is a shock. That's 2 shocks, so they're on 4 shock. Now this is interesting because we've got the Noble Raider Cavalry now. And the Noble Raider Cavalry will play aggressive charge. It's +6, so they are easily in. So Noble Raider Cavalry will get 4. 5 for being elite +4 is 9. And the Picts will get 4, less 2 is 2, +5 is 7. However, the Picts are playing shield wall braced, so the Scotty will be back on 4, 5, 6 to hit, and it will negate the aggressive charge to a certain degree. Well, that's a good job they did that, because that's 4 3s which would have hit with that aggressive charge, but it's still good. It's still 5 hits. What are the Picts doing in return? Well, also very good. Right, damage on the Picts is 4 shock. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they will be broken. And coming back is 2 shock and 1 kill. So it's net 1 to the Picts, which means any excess shock they withdraw. Well, they don't, because there's 3 with 2, but the Picts certainly do. They have 8 with 4. So they go back 4 because they have excess shock. So I guess they're going to go this way. And then they break. And they go 13. Now that may be in the direction they want to go, but it isn't particularly good. But it's a bad things happens for the Picts, and that's 3, which is -2, and they are also down to 4 force morale. And obviously Finbar needs to get himself away from that group. Now the Pictish Cavalry will, I guess, follow up too. Wrong, Scotty Cavalry. Pictish Skirmishers. 2 hits. 1 shot. Okay, old Big Mac Dougal. Again, it's just get across here, I think. Oh, that's a massive move. So they lose 2 per dice, so they'll go 11. And the other group, well, they're struggling a bit. Oh, well, I think the Pictish Cavalry have got themselves too excited and too far down range at the moment, and they're not going to do any good back there at all. Difficult one. Oh, well, they can act as skirmish cavalry, so I think they're going to come up here. I think if I do 2 dice +4, oh, a good roll. So they can come up here. All 5, 6 to hit, 2 hits, and 1 shock. Right, Finbar's activated. Clearly he needs to get out of there. He needs to get back, I would suggest, to this group here. There he goes, 7. Having a noble on their own is not good. But I don't see why he can't tell this group to come over to him. He's within command range. He's not telling them to get into combat. So I think that's okay. And that's what they're going to do. The Pictish missiles here, this is a very confused situation at the moment. There's people all over the place. That's what happens with rear guard actions, I guess. Anyway, the Pictish missiles here are just going to fire at the Noble Raider Cavalry. 4, 5, 6 to hit. That's 3 hits. And it's 5 shock, 6 kill. No effect. Pictish leader 1. I think realistically he needs to be careful. There's a strong group of Scotty here. Well, 2 strong groups actually. I think it's just going to take 2 shock off. Got no cards of any use. Just needs to, yeah, keep the shock down. And finally, Scotty missiles. They will move up. I think they'll fire at the Pict missiles and get 1 hit and no effect. The wagon will not move because that will just go straight into the hands of the Scotty, and that is the end of the turn. Okay, so as I said earlier, it's quite a confused picture at the moment. Still got Lord Edwin off table, so he's out of the game at the moment. Got a group of Scotty here being harassed by the Pict skirmishers. We also have the Scotty missiles, skirmishers, skirmish cavalry and skirmishers pushing around the crossbows here. Noble Raider cavalry, the Pictish raiders here, and Lord Finbar himself with the booty. And then we have the blocking formation here from Big MacDougall. These guys are routing. This is another group of Scotty trying to get across the river. They're making a bit of a meal of that. But also in the background we've got the Pictish Raider Cavalry. So it's a very confused situation at the moment. I'm not quite sure how it's going to play out. But obviously we'll see. Right, so here we go. First card up is Scotty Cavalry. Now they've got 2 shock, so they can't get into combat. So there's not a lot they can do unless they get a noble to rally off some shock. Of course, Lord Ronal's off the table, and Big MacDougall's over here. So I don't think they can do a lot. Perhaps they just ought to pull back a bit, so they'll pull back to here. Which they do. Pictish cavalry, well, they're acting as skirmishers at the moment, so they'll fire at these guys. 4, 5, 6 to hit, 2 hits, and 4, 5, 6 shock, 1 shock. So they're up to 2. Pictish leader 1, Angus, son of Fungus. Well, he's got 3 shock on each. He hasn't got a lot. What he might do, I wonder. So these Scotty have 5 shock. So there's a way to, I haven't played this card before, they might play Rage, which means oblige one enemy group within 12 inches, which they are, to test to see if they surge forward 3 dice 6 inches. Roll below or equal to the shock on the chosen enemy group. Well, they've got 5, so I've got to get 5 or less. First of all, I guess I can take off 2 points of shock. And play that card, and then if they get into combat, we start combat. So we're best to take shock off. probably here, 2 points here. Alright, so anything but a 6. Alright, so these guys are obliged to charge in. 3 dice 6. I suppose the shock is ignored. They lose 1 pip because 2 pips because of the swamp. So they go 6, so they've just about got enough to get in. And now they're at a disadvantage because of the shock. So let's work out some dice. For the Picts we have 4, 5, losing 1 for shock there, is 9, 10, 11. And for the Scotty, 6 less 2 is 4. Okay, I'll do the Scotty first. That is 2 hits, 1 on each. And that's a pretty good hit from the Picts. That's 6 hits. Right, let's do Scotty damage first, no effect. And 6 is a kill. Is that on Angus? It is not. So 1 kill. Now what's coming back? Well, that's 4 shock and 1 kill. There's no noble, so it's an instant kill. 4 shock, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 with 9. So they're not broken, but raiders with excess shock will retire. So 5 with 9, they'll go back 4. And the Picts will advance 2. And the combat is broken. Well, I think that was a pretty good move. It's unfortunate that he didn't break them, because that would have had an effect on force morale, but I think that's the right way to go. Scotty Lord, 5/6, and he's on the table. He is, but he can't activate this go, so he's got to wait till next turn to activate. But at least he's back in the game. Is it too late? Finbar, son of Fubar, has activated. We've got a big match off here. So let's see what cards the Picts have that can be of any use. Well, first of all, the Pict Lord will draw a card. He's got Armour Bright, not overly useful necessarily. He has another card though, Fear. A group of enemy Levior warriors / raiders who are within 6 inches, which they are, of the champion take 1 dice 3 shock. So let's have a go at that. That's 2 shock. Well, it's better than nothing. It's 1 dice less. And he hasn't got anything else to use useful, so they charge in. They go 9. Well, that's enough to get in. And we have combat. The Scotty will have 8, less 1 is 7, 8, 9 for the noble. And the Picts will have 8, 9, 10, 13. We'll do the Scotty first. We're hitting on 4, 5, 6, so that's a great hit. That is a great hit. And the Picts, that's also pretty good. These dice are rolling well today. Scotty effect is, well, that's a very good hit. That's 4 shock and 1 kill. Is the kill on the noble? It is. He's wounded. Well, it's good for reputation, but it's about things happen. And that's 6. Noble Lord wounded on 6, which is 2 points, and the Picts are down to 2. Right, what damage on the Scotty? 2 kill. That's a cocky. No effect on that one. 2 kill, 2 shocks. We're up to 4 shock and 2 kill. Is one of the kills on Big Mac? It is not. So that's 2 kill. 1, 2. So it's a net 2, which means that this group falls back the amount of shock they have, which is 4. And the Scotty follow up 2. The Picts follow up too. And that's the end of that combat. Right. Retrospectively, I will play Armour Bright by the Picts, which means that he's not wounded, which means that the Picts are not on Force Morale 2, they remain on 4. I've been a bit of a dimmy there, but there we are. That's what happens. Alright, Scotty Skirmishers, they're no good back here, so they need to get a move on. They're going to get up to Lord Finbar if they can. They go 12. So they can't engage there. The other group here will fire at the Pictish crossbows. Hitting on 4, 5, 6. 2 hits. No effect. Now we have Pictish skirmishers who are within 6 inches of this group. And if they can cause some shock, then that's going to cause the Scotty some problems. So they're hitting on a 4, 5, 6. It's 1 hit, but it's 1 shock. And they're broken. So first of all, it's excess shock. So they have 5, so they go back 5. I suppose they go that way, really. Then they break. And they're off table. It's about how things happen. 4. And that is 2 points. And the Scotty are on 2. Force Morale 2. Right, now we have the Pictish missiles. They're sort of isolated here. They've got fleet of foot. So they're going to move. And I think they're going to go up to the wagon and protect that. And they go 6. Less 1 actually, because of shock. So they're up there, and then they'll fire at the Scotty skirmishers. Hitting on 4, 5, 6. That's 2 hits. And 1 shock. Right, Scotty leader 1. Well, I think he might take a point of shock off. I mean, they're on Force Morale 2, so they're looking a bit dodgy anyway. But he's going to play aggressive charge. And they're going to go for it. I suppose I better roll just in case, because they're -3. That's no problem. In they go. Scotty will have 6 less 1 is 5, 6, 7. They'll be hitting on 3s. And the Picts will have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right, it's a risky move for the Scotty, but I think they're a bit desperate at the moment. Wow, that's a great hit. Another great hit. These dice are fantastic. Scotty. Not so good. Still 5. Alright, damage on the Picts. That's pretty crunching. 2 killed and 3 shock. Up to 7 is one of the kills on the Lord. It's not. Okay, and in return 3 shock, 1 kill. So they're on 6. Is it on the noble? It's not. Right, so it's net 1 to the Scotty, which means withdraw if excess shock. They have 6 with 7, they go back 1. These guys also have excess shock, they go back 1. So the combat ends. And finally the Scotty missiles are up. I think they will fire at the Picts over here. 4, 5, 6, 3 hits. And I think that's 2 shock, 1 killed. So is the kill on the noble? It's not. And that means they have excess shock of 1. So I guess break formation and go back there. Very useful shooting. Right, here we go. Situation critical for Lord Ronal. He's just come back on the table, but the raiders in front of him are routed. So the Picts are in control of the centre of the board. They've still got their harassing troops for the Scotty behind them. And there still are 2 groups of raiders to their front. But the key thing is the Scotty morale is on 2 and the Picts are on 4. So let's see how this one plays out. Right, Egg McMuffin is up first. All he can do is take off that point of shock. Now it's Angus, son of Fergus. Hasn't really got a great deal of cards there. I think he's got to take 2 points of shock off here. They're looking a bit dodgy. That's it really. Right, Pictish skirmishers, they're going to scout around here and come on the Scotty flank there. They've gone 7. Scotty missiles, they will fire at this group again. 4, 5, 6 to hit. 2 hits. That's another kill. Is the kill on Angus? It's not. So they're down to 1 raider there. Pictish cavalry, well again, all they're going to do is the skirmishers. That's 2 hits and no effect. Scotty cavalry, well, they can't do anything because they've got that shock and nobody's going to be taking it off. And Scotty leader 1, realistically, all he can do is take off 2 points of shock. He's rallying his troops here opposite the Picts. They're obviously just facing each other off, shouting. Right, the Scotty Lord, he's going to play a bounding move and try and leg it as quick as he can over to some of his mates, because he's in danger of being caught out there. So he'll go. So he will go 11. That's 1 for each dice. So that's 1, 2, 5, 7, 9. You've got to cross the river. That not ideal, but at least he's a little bit safer. Pictish missiles. So I think again they'll move closer to the wagon train, protecting that, and then fire at those skirmishers. 4 hits, and it's 3, 4 shock, 5, 6 kill. 1 kill, 1 shock. Now, is the kill on Egg McMuffin? It's not. So Scotty skirmishers are up now. I guess they are just going to fire at the missiles. 4 hits. 4, 5, 6 shock, 2 shock. The other skirmishers will close up. They will lose 1 pip per dice. So 1, 5, 10. And finally the Pictish Lord. Again, he's got to take that shock off. 3, 1, 2, 3. That's the end of the turn. Right, one thing I did forget to do was move up the uncommanded group here, which can go and assist old Big Mac. So 3 dice 6, less 2. They're only going to go 3, but they're getting closer. Right, Pictish Lord is up. Now he could, I think, take alright, draw a card. He's got bounding move, not overly useful. Is time on his side? I'm not quite sure. You take off 1 shock, down to 3, and I think it's worth charging in. They'll lose 3 on the charge, so they go 5, which is enough. The Scotty will play Shield Wall Braced. So let's do some calculations. Scotty will have 3, 4, 5. And the Picts will have 6 less 1 is 5, plus 5 is 10. Right, we'll do the Scotty first. They'll be hitting on a 4, 5, 6. Oh, that's 4 hits. Well above average. And the Picts will be hitting on a 5, 6 only. So they get 3 hits. Okay, damage on the Picts is 2 shock. So they're up to 5, and there's 6 of them. So no effect at the moment. And coming back at the Scotty is 1 kill. Who's that on? Just a raider. So it's 4 on 4 shock. Net 1. Net 1 is go back if excess shock. Well, they don't. So we go again. So it's 4 less 2 is 2 plus 2. So Scotty are on 4. And the Picts are on 6 less 2 is 4 plus 5 is 9. 4, 5, 6 to hit, 2 hits. And the Scotty are also on 4, 5, 6 to hit. Shield wall is only in that first round. That's not brilliant. 3 hits. The dice gods have gone. Right, what does the Scotty do? 1 kill, 1 shock. So they're up to 6. Is the kill on Finbar? It is, but do you know what? He's got an armour bright. So they had both armour brights. Lucky old Finbar. So 6 with 6 shock, not excess at the moment. What's coming back on the Scotty? 3 shock. 1, 2. 3. So they have 7 with 4, so they go back 3. Scotty Picts advance 2. And that's the end of the combat. But it also means that these raiders behind are a bit stuck. I suppose they can swing out around here. So that's the end of that combat. Right, Scotty Lord. Well, I suppose he's going to try and get over here up to these groups. He has not got any bounding move or anything. He's quite agile, so he'll be able to weave his way around the bog, I guess. But he can't get around the river. He's got to cross that at some stage. So let's see how far he can go. He goes 10. Which is not going to get him there anyway. I think you've got to be next to people for taking off shock. Pictish missiles will continue to hit the Scotty skirmishers. 4, 5, 6 to hit. That's 3 hits. And I think 5s. 2 5s are 2 kills. Is Egg McMuffin one of those? He is. Egg McMuffin dies. Oh dear. And 1 skirmisher. So, I mean, he is a level 1, but he is a noble. So, what effect does that have? Bad things happen. 5, noble killed. And a noble killed with a roll of 5 is 2 points. The Scotty are down to 0 force morale, and the Picts win the day. The Scotty are going to be running away. And I think that's only fair, really. We'll look at what is left on the battlefield. We've got 2 groups, albeit this one very reduced. Pictish skirmishers here, and the Pictish missiles, the crossbows. The rest of these guys are skirmish troops. They're not doing much. And then a strong group of raiders with the Lord Finbar here, and the other group of raiders with the Scotty just about to break. And of course we've still got the cavalry intact for the Picts as well. So there we go, a successful raid and escape by the Picts into Dal Riata. Good stuff. Okay, yeah, all good fun there. I think the Scotty's major problem was Ronal disappearing for about 4 goes, having ridden on the back of one of the routing raiding groups. So that was a shame, but I think it was only fair that, like I said, the Picts won out there. They had a far better run on that. And it also looks like Lord Finbar is a bit of a nemesis for Lord Ronal at the moment. 2 raids, 2 successes by the Picts. With respect to numbers, the Picts lost 9 raiders killed, whilst the Scotty lost 1 noble cavalryman, 2 skirmishers, 10 raiders and Egg McMuffin. So looking on the results table, it's a successful raid, +2, enemy noble killed, +1, -1 for own troops killed, but +2 for enemy troops killed. And the Picts actually had +3 for the pursuit cards, and unbelievably that is a +7 victory in the raid. So the Picts will immediately gain sufficient followers to replace the dead men, and sufficient wealth to recruit 1 additional group. The Scotty had moderate losses, which will be replaced in 2 months. So I've been waiting for this moment all the time since I've had my hounds painted up for the Picts. Order 1 is reinforcement of warhounds for the Picts, and surprise surprise, that's what I will choose for them. So even though the Picts are a random event for this campaign, I think it will add a bit of flavour next time we see them. With regards to the wider campaign, I'm struggling a little bit with getting Lord Ronal injured or wounded. Often enough, he's got to get 6 wounds to crack on, and apparently he's supposed to get -1 every time he runs away from the table. Well, he's probably on net 0 at the moment, so that ain't going to work. So I'm probably just going to go on the accumulation of wounds, which he's at 4 at the moment, and certainly needs a couple more before he can contest a battle with the Saxons. So I'll see how that one goes. For the time being though, that is the end of the scenario. I think the next confrontation will be in July, where we'll see the Scotty and the Saxons having a go at each other again. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.